Middle Ground is a social experiment that brings humans with opposing beliefs together. Please see the humanity in each participant, and as always, we encourage empathy.
I am happy now in my teen years, but then what are my adult years gonna be like? So I'm neutral about the future. Hit me with it, I got it, hit me with it!
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. Boys are stronger than girls.
Well, physically, like, for the most part, in gender roles and stuff like that, boys are just supposed to be stronger. That's just a thing that happens. They work out at the gym, and yeah, girls certainly can work out too if they want. But again, it's more common for boys.
Can I disagree or step forward?
Who's one to say what gender, depends, who's stronger? It doesn't matter what gender you are, it matters who you are. It doesn't matter what you were born, it matters what you want to be.
You could be referring to strength in so many ways, like physically, emotionally, where the strength in your body is placed, it all just depends, and there's just so many factors that go into it.
I play volleyball, and sometimes we play the boys teams, and we've crushed them a couple times, and it feels so good, So I don't agree with that.
I think getting rid of these preconceived notions that boys go to gyms, girls stay at home. One of my best friends is a girl, and she's stronger than half the guys I know. My name's Colby, I'm in 8th grade, and I'm a middle school boy. I do have guy friends, but when I would ask them questions or when I would try to talk about emotion, it was almost shut down. And I feel I just have deeper connections with women around me than a lot of the men that I do.
I am old enough to date.
Obviously more of figuring yourself out comes in later years, but I feel like these relationships really shape how you feel about relationships in the future, and it's important to have them.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that it begins to become different when you get into the sexual aspects of a relationship and dating. I think that this age, you don't know enough about yourself as a person at this age to give consent correctly and to understand this is a powerful moment. And I think that at age 12, it can be kind of hard to grasp that.
You guys can date. I'm me, you're not me, so I personally would never date, but you guys do your thing. It's it's your jazz, not mine, so.
I think there's just a lot more to life before you have to slow down. I want to ride my bike in the middle of the street and then binge eat popsicles and watch my favorite TV show before I have to slow down, which I have 7 more years before I'm officially an adult. So I think I want to experience life before I stop all that.
I think when we talk about dating, it's we're going through so much physiological change. Our mental state is just so fragile and insane at this age that dating to me, the risk just outweighs the reward, and Gen Z's, all of our experiences are getting moved up by 5 years. I think I can hold out a few more years. I don't think I need to rush anything.
And then I think at this age, we're more prone to, getting upset over a smaller thing than what we would be when we're older. And then I also think if someone at our age is gonna date, it should be something, light and fun, not anything serious.
I feel dating is more emotionally focused at our age, and then being sexually active while dating is a whole other topic.
Well, both people should be present and aware and almost constantly aware of how they're feeling with one another in order for it to be a safe, healthy relationship.
Well, I mean, either way, if you were to date, even in the middle of, for example, middle school, most of the time it wouldn't work out. So there's no reason to, purposely, do everything you can to uphold it. Either way, it's not really gonna work. It's just a good experience to start yourself and prepare for the future. Hi, I'm Gordon. I'm in 6th grade, and I'm a middle school boy. My favorite thing about middle school is probably just the fact that it's not too young to be considered a basic school, but it's also not too high up, so you have too many responsibilities at once, like student loans. So Yeah, it's very simple and straightforward.
I understand what a woman's period is.
Well, it's like a hormone reaction that causes blood to come out of you know where. That's essentially it. It happens like maybe a few times a month, and yeah, it's not very comfortable.
It's like once you start it, they say it's supposed to be irregular for the first 2 years, and mine is like one time I didn't have it for 10 months, and then I got it and it was for 13 days.
Same, but mine was for like 4 months.
Oh my God. I think it's great that all of you guys know what it is, but I have countless amount of guy friends that they just don't understand what it is. They think, oh, you bleed for like 10 seconds a day, right? And I'm like, no, that's not what happens. Yeah. And I feel like my school, especially with the pandemic, like we skipped our health unit in 5th grade because of COVID. And it's just our teachers, when we went through sex ed this year, my teacher didn't teach it really.
Speaking of sex ed, there are no government regulations for what sex ed can be. And you have these people in other places where their only sex ed is like, don't have sex until marriage, or else you'll get an STD and
I'm glad everyone knows because it's such an important thing in a woman's life. And I think if it's not taught, then nobody's learning.
yeah, right.
I don't like how my body looks.
With me, it is about like my weight and how I show up in the world. It's not something I talk to like anyone except for my parents about. It's like it's always a nagging thing, always in the back of my head every time I look in a mirror, every time I talk to someone with a body that I like envy. And I can't really go to any of my male friends about it because they're just like, stop being so sensitive. You look fine. And it's like, but I don't think that.
I suffered a lot last year. Just thinking about myself, I counted calories all the time. I still do it sometimes when my anxiety gets worse. And then, 7th grade hit and my closest friend developed an eating disorder, and we have a very similar body structure. Like I know that weight is distributed differently, but it just doesn't register well in my head. Because then I'm like, well, if you think you're fat, then what am I? This has been a big source of part of my mental health issues. I mean, I still don't know how to deal with it because I'm still trying to figure myself out. Hi, my name is Natalie. I'm in 7th grade and I'm a middle school girl. I have friends who I know they don't pressure me into it, but it's just like when they go out wearing like these like Lululemon crop tops, I don't feel like I don't want to wear that kind of stuff. It definitely feeds into my body image issues.
I think it doesn't really matter about like the looks. I think it really matters about like personality, yeah.
I used to have really bad body dysmorphia, and it's really hard, especially playing volleyball, seeing everyone like those small little shorts and then being like, oh, those legs look really nice. Like, oh, I really want to look like that. But then, it's been hard, but I've just grown to realize that, like I'm who I am and I look like this, and they look like that, and great,
I know for a lot of guys like my age, like they're always working out and stuff, and for a while I almost did that. Like I would like go to the gym every day and stuff like that, but then like kind of noticed I would be tired, I would have like more extreme mood swings, like I was just like a less enjoyable person to be around. Like I think we don't talk about like how like men view themselves and like their bodies as much.
Personally, myself, I've never even thought about this. I just never really thought about how I looked. I had a pretty okay metabolism, and yeah, that's pretty much what carried me, and now we're here.
I think it's just like, hey, my body's here, cool. Yes. Like I can run with it, I can swim with it. It wasn't with my body as much as it was with hair, because my hair obviously looked different from your hair. So when I was younger, I straightened my hair once, and everyone had straight hair, and I was just like, I want straight hair. I want to look like her. She has pretty hair. My hair is all fluffy and dry. Hers is nice and straight and pretty. So it was just like that feeling of like having to look like everybody else. But I think I've found the confidence now.
When I was in 2nd and 3rd grade, all the girls had straight hair, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I want that straight hair. And then all of those girls were like, Suhaila, I love your hair, you know, your hair is gorgeous. And I was like, really? And then I was just, you know, like I started to actually appreciate my hair. It's a part of like who I am, and that's a beautiful part of who I am. And your hair is gorgeous, by the way.
You have really great hair.
I feel like I understand my sexual orientation.
Well, I mean, there's not really any room to it. It's just you're straight or you're not, in which case, if you're not, it becomes complicated. But if you're straight, it's pretty obvious.
Fair. I'm gay and asexual. Putting labels on things helps me. So yeah, that's how I identify at this point, and I am very confident in that. And I mean, depending on where I am, I'll be more out or less out. I have to hide who I am because I'm in fear for my safety. I figured out I was asexual a little later, just because sexual attraction becomes something that people increasingly begin to have. I never had them. That's how I identify at this point in time. And I mean, sexuality is obviously like a fluctuating spectrum. Hi, I'm Owen, I'm in 8th grade, and I'm a middle school boy. Coming out in my school, it was definitely an experience. I received tremendous support from the small but strong LGBTQ+ community within my school. It made me feel amazing about who I was and that I was able to meet people who were like me. But it still was a little isolating. It made it hard to relate to some of my male peers.
I've never kissed anybody. And it's like, I've really never had an attraction to anybody, so how would I know if I'm gay, straight, or bi? I just don't know yet.
To me, it's not that big of a factor. Like, I think everyone has a personal journey of like self-discovery. And for me, like, if I am gay, bi, or anything like that, like, I can just see like how I react to that. But I think right now, like, I'm not anything. Like, I'm just like neutral.
Yeah, I feel like what you said earlier about it being like super simple, but between like whether or not you're straight or you're just anything else.
For anything else, that could take a whole lot longer. Yeah, I could totally see that.
I feel like it's even hard to sometimes know if you're straight. Like there's just like this like time where you just, I feel like middle school and high school is mostly that time where you just don't know where you are, and most people find it in college. So it's just like, I personally have not defined myself because I don't know myself.
We have a leadership class that likes going through LGBTQ stuff right now. And I'm thinking you can't really know if you're gonna be like bi, gay, straight. It doesn't really matter. You don't know until you get like older. That's really my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I really agree with you.
I disagree with the stipulation that you have to be older to understand. I'm saying everyone, again, has their own personal journey. I can look back and see moments where I was attracted to men when I was like in kindergarten. So I think that it really depends, and I think that it really becomes this thing of like how we as a society look at sexuality.
I've been harassed online.
It was because of my race. I'm like originally from like a really white area in the South, and I was like the only black person in my whole like elementary school. Like, and this kid somehow like found like my Instagram or something and just started calling me the N-word. I think I was like 8 or 9. And I think it affected me because like I started like talking less like in like my class, and I just felt like almost like alone. And like when I would try to tell like some friends I had at the time, like they didn't really like get it because a lot of my friends were also like white, and they just thought that it was like someone playing like a prank.
I have a similar experience. I actually have a blog, and in the comment section, you know, someone called me the N-word. I've never been called it, and yeah, it's beyond what I've expected. So it just made me feel very little and like, I don't know, just like I couldn't do anything. And yeah, but cyberbullying especially, you know, it hits the same amount as like if someone was like in person telling you something. So I'm Suhaila. I'm in 8th grade and I'm a middle school girl. Sometimes I'm a little bit scared of bullies, and I've always been, but I'm learning to stick up to bullies because I hate when people just pick on you for a reason that you can't control. Sometimes bullies are, really surprised that I'm speaking up to them because they don't expect someone like me, someone who tries to be kind as much as they can, stick up to them. So I always see a surprised look on their face, but I know that I'm doing the right thing.
For me, it was a different kind of online harassment. It was unsolicited pics that I did not want over Snapchat, and just like a certain person continuing to send me things and then like blackmailing me on things.
When I first got my Instagram, like the first year, I posted some photos, and then like the first couple minutes I already started to get harassed by this random person. It just really made me uncomfortable because I didn't know who they were, and it was like really creepy.
Well, I mean, I could see why 5 of you have been harassed like that. That's over a half of us. That's because just you don't know who a person is. If they just don't upload a picture, don't choose a name, anything like that. The thought of being able to completely go like incognito, nobody knows who you are, so you can't get punished for anything, that gives like these disgusting people like a lot of power, and they want to abuse it. And
You don't know who Pickle Jam 3000 is. It could be your best friend, or it could be some pedophile online. You never know, and it's just creepy. It's like, ooh.
With me, the person who did that, I actually like went to school with them. Like that was like someone I saw like every day.
These people become these completely different identities as they begin to just like turn into the worst versions of themselves. They give in to their worst compulsions because they know as soon as I'm done, I'll just delete it and no one can ever know. You have no accountability.
I'm excited for the future.
I think a lot of us hesitated there because I'm excited if the future holds change, but then there are other futures that are starting to make themselves known that I am not excited about, like the Texas abortion law, the Florida Don't Say Gay bill that forbids LGBTQ+ education up to 6th grade. That's probably going to pass. It's like, these are futures I do not want to see, but there are also futures that I am more than excited about.
I feel like Gen Z specifically, we're really ahead of the game in social change, and I think that that's going to carry us far if we use it to the best of our capability. So.
Yeah, I feel like on another note, I'm excited for the experiences I'm gonna have. I'm gonna be able to like travel by myself, and there's just so much more I can do, but at the same time, it terrifies me because there's so much I can do. And like, I have so much responsibility.
Yeah, definitely.
It's terrifying.
I just want to make it to college, honestly. I want to have the college experience. Like, I think that's like a lot of people I know, they're like, that's where I really found myself.
I'm excited for the future to see how I grow as a person, because obviously I'm much younger than everyone here. So I'm just excited to see how I grow when I get to be you guys' age. I'm also looking forward to the future because I do act, so I also want to see that grow. And I do have a podcast, so I also want to see that grow.
Oh my God, it's so cool. Oh my God.
Hi, my name is Hanadi. I'm in 6th grade and I'm a middle school girl. The podcast is 9.5 Podcast because I made it when I was 9. And I basically talk about peer pressure on a lighter level, toxic friendships versus clean friendships, a lot of things in that matter.
I am neutral about the future. Hit me with it. I got it. Hit me with it. But it's like, I am happy now in my teen years, but then what are my adult years going to be like? So I'm neutral. Future, come at me. But I'm also happy here. So that's just how I feel.
I don't really like to think about the future because the older you get, it's thinking like the more people you could lose, and I don't really like to think that. My name is Nino. I'm in 6th grade and I'm a middle school boy. I'm not excited to be in middle school because I'm aging and I kind of want to stay young, but on the other hand, it's fun to go to middle school and learn about a lot of new things.
What a lot of you said, it's responsibilities, losing a loved one, being all alone. All of that combined is why I don't want to think about the future specifically. And essentially, these are the golden years of our life, teenagers. It's perfectly balanced.
I would disagree that it's perfection because our bodies are going through such rapid change. The way you stand in the world, you change your personality, what feels like close to every month to see what, like how you can fit in with the world, but you never seem to fit in and you always feel alone. And it's like, that is not perfection. But I mean, if the future is going to be even worse, I guess I'd rather stay here.
I believe my friendships will last forever.
I have like really close friends. We've been friends together like for a long time already. I remember one of them asked me to come to like a sleepover. It was kind of like a huge thing because like that was the first time I ever had any sleepover. Like those are bonds that are gonna like hold us together like forever. And I know that like a lot of people I'm friends with now, like I won't be friends with them forever, but I feel like there are people in my life that we're always gonna be together because like that's my person right there. Like they've been through like with me like thick and thin.
And I have this one friend that I'm allowed to go to her house, and her family is really sweet to me. She's really sweet to me, so I honestly think it will last very, very long.
My current best friend, like the person that I go to for literally everything, we went through a really rough patch this year. We weren't really talking very much for a good 3 months. And there was a while where neither of us knew if we were ever gonna be friends again because we told each other that we just kind of needed a break. And then about 2 months ago, she texted me and was like, you know, I think I have taken a good amount of space and I'm ready to be like close friends again. And I was like, you know, I feel the same way. And I feel like we now know our boundaries better, and I honestly think we're gonna last.
Like, hypothetically speaking, if my friend who I've known for a really long time moved, we could still message, hi, house, new house or whatever. We'd still be friends because even though she's not like right in front of my face, she's right in front of her phone and I'm right in front of my phone. So it's like we're kind of connected. Therefore, we could always technically be friends forever. I'm Olivia. I'm in 8th grade and I'm a middle school girl. Some things I love about my friendships in middle school is the connection we have. The fact that we went from elementary school to middle school is this big transition. It's like we see each other growing up. As we grow, we learn more amazing things and our bond grows so much more. It's just amazing. I love it.
I remember having like a bunch of great friends in like preschool, kindergarten, and now it's been years and I don't know where they live. We're not even in contact anymore. Like my mom has their phone number, but we haven't been in contact, so I don't think friendships like last forever. They can, but like sometimes you're not in touch or.
Yeah, and like anything can happen. Like those types of like annoying things, like social media, things like that, can ruin friendships in the terrible circumstances. And I hate to be the annoying one and say, oh, you can die, that's not forever, but yeah, friendships can have anything happen to them. Some of them last forever, but mine personally, I don't know, I don't think they will.
I see friendships that seem like they are going to last forever get more and more dysfunctional as time goes on until the people separate and never talk to each other again. I've gotten stuck in this cycle of losing friends, getting bullied, having everyone like gang up on me and I'm the one person that's alone, and I'm just pessimistic about it now. I don't think friendships will last forever, and I don't think that like no matter how good your friendship is, something's gonna screw it up.
And I also think it's about, you know, like taking friendships day by day. It's not about thinking about what you're gonna do in I don't know, like 10, 20 years. Like if you're still gonna be friends or maybe not, it's just about having fun with that person, not, you know, thinking about the future too much, because I feel like it's all in the moment and that's what we should be focusing on, so.
Y'all, that was, you guys are awesome. Nice work, guys.